Okay, Celine, welcome back to the Social Souls podcast.
Thank you for
Celine,
having me again. Always a pleasure.
Celine, tell me about how you would describe yourself right now.
Oh my gosh, I feel like it's so hard to explain myself, but I've been just kind of telling everybody, I'm just simply existing. I'm an entrepreneur, content creator, energetic coach, all of the above, but I feel like people just kind of know me as Celine, who likes many things, who's multidimensional, and whatever comes to me, I create and just having fun, really. Like my work is now my play. So I get to experiment all kinds of things, read tons of books, but yeah, I'm just Celine.
Yeah, it's really interesting, this embracing of this multidimensionality, because when people are like, what do you do? It's interesting because I also really got into sacred geometry, and I loved how on the call that you had the other night for the solar eclipse, you had a lot of references to sacred geometry and just how to use it in a very practical way. Because I've also been looking at like, how do I integrate that into certain, uses? That was really powerful. Can you tell me more about how you're using sacred geometry in your work?
Yeah, for sure. It's one of the downloads I got from my highest self, explaining how the universe works, about astrology and the movement of the cosmos, like why we're here. So essentially, the 12 aspects of the God mind forms this octahedron. And if you notice a lot of the astrology, there's 12 months, you go from Aries and then Taurus and all of these above. It's it's even a reflective with the Bible also. So if you really look at the Bible, the disciples, each month is what correlates to those zodiac signs. For example, when we embody the I am, we embody I communicate, I have. So each month there's a theme. My higher self was telling me about how before they would begin their year during the Sirius sign. So it would start around like summertime when the Sirius was highest in the sky. So that was like the month of Aries. It's the time we're moving into the Roman Empire time based on taxation. And it's not really quite the right time. So before they would use what's called the Kairos, and then we switched to Chronos during the Roman Empire. I was integrating many parts of my soul and going through my Hair's evolution. I definitely needed to align myself with the Kairos time using more astrology and tracking what the cosmic weather is like because our body responds heavily to the cosmos. It's something that I've been really into aligning with the natural cyclical flow because it connects you to Gaia's nervous system as well. Yeah.
And the 12 aspects of
The
the
God mind.
symbol,
So
the God mind.
So after each month, there's a theme, and you embody those themes. Then you can start becoming whole until you integrate the I am. That's your monadic body. So a monad is a group of souls. So each of our lifetimes, it formulates this whole network. And once we can integrate all those different parts of us, that's when your whole really you finish your Heros Gamos, you go through your ascension, and it's really just a process of learning about our patterns. Like everything in this universe is frequency and patterns. A lot of times we bypass these patterns that we have. Like that's why shadow work is really important. A lot of times we're just repeating information, but the more that you can really see what your patterns are interconnected and why you're doing certain things, if you have scarcity mindset, a lot of times there's an addiction pattern underneath and abandonment wounds. It's all very much layered. And a lot of our patterns are very sticky. I see them as kind of like blockchain. A lot of times when we have a pattern and we don't clear that in our field, it always branches out. I always tell this to my clients. Oftentimes, we have this talking head syndrome, and a part of my job as a coach is to really get you out of your head and more into your body. Yoga, Taoist practices, Qigong is really amazing to sense more of these subtle energies so that you can tap more into your innate intelligence, your life force energy. When we can get all of those levels of you working again, that's when you can really taste all of these desire, ecstasy. Like it is our birthright to feel good. Connecting your mental body, physical body, spirit body. This is when you're using frequencies to change your life. I recently had a client, I've been seeing her for about a year now, and she's like, this is the smoothest divorce I've ever been. And I'm so glad that I was seeing you this whole year. Yeah, because in the background, I'm doing a lot of neurolinguistics programming, calming your nervous system, like really working together so that, your transitions in your life, like that karma might have been done already. But she was like, by the end of their relationship, I'm able to get my apartment with ease. I'm now traveling. And this could have cost her thousands of dollars, but because she was working with me, she was working with other coaches, it was almost like her nervous system was so prepared to move on to her next life that it just made everything so smooth. And it's almost like she has accepted it in her body. I'm safe. I'm okay. These are underlying patterns. A lot of times relationships break down not because somebody's cheating, it's those little fractures all throughout your relationships. So in relationships, we're creating different energetic architectures. And a lot of times we blame one single event, but it's not just that one single event, it's those little fractures all throughout your relationship. A lot of times it's really that 7-year-old self, 12-year-old self, the abandonment wounds, the father wounds that causes these ripple effects because our autonomic nervous system doesn't really see patterns in a linear way. It's all an abstract. So in your field, it's still happening. Unless we clear those patterns, which, like you said, you're really into geometry, you're probably seeing them now too. It just continues to repeat in our lives. The energetic work that we do collapses those timelines so that your nervous system, your body can land much safer.
Yeah. And it is such a, like you said, sticky energy. I remember when I was
Mhm.
doing this work, my teacher was like, what he could see was like black oil, like it's sticky. You need to really break through it. But then the good thing is you break through that one seed and then the whole structure collapses. And then
Yeah.
you're in free fall and you're in
Oh
the
my
void.
God. It's so amazing though. In healthcare, we do a lot of debridement, and debridement is when you have these pus leg, if you have abscess, you don't just clean up the surface level. We actually go deeper and really carve out the root cause of this abscess. And same way energetically. So we would refer a patient to a general surgeon, and the general surgeon would like carve out deeper layers so that
Mm.
that abscess doesn't come back in your skin. And it's the
Cutting out,
same
yeah,
thing.
cutting out the imprint,
Mhm.
like, mm.
And it's very interesting because we go into like these really like deep kind of compression in ourselves, and we go through an ego death. It feels so uncomfortable. But the more you go deeper and lower, that gets filled out with more light. And so next thing you know is like, I'm so confident, I'm so vibrant, and like it just feels so good because you are now just like saturated with life force energy. And it's very palpable on how you look, how you interact with people. And I know you feel this too with just how expansive your teachings are. Like you can think better. It's like, why am I getting smarter?
And
It's
also,
like,
I
oh,
swear, people.
Haley over here is teaching sacred geometry now.
Yeah, and I loved your description when you were talking about rarefied air, because that is what
Mm.
it is. It's just more spaciousness. And no matter what you're going through, so like your client was going through a divorce, like these massive waves of life, but you float through them differently. You walk through them differently. Can you talk a bit about that description you had about the
The
jets and
airplanes.
formation, the airplanes, the aerodynamics of it, I loved it. Every coach and leader and some people that feel like really, lonely going through their journey, like needs to hear this.
Yeah, it was so funny because I was trying to figure out how can I best explain dimensional field theory? How can I explain these very advanced quantum mechanics, quantum physics that will land with people? Because the higher that you go, you're not just playing repetitive manifestations. You really need to understand the software and hardware. My higher self tends to teach me many different things. She made me do figure skating, she made me do climbing, she made me do like just all kinds of activities so that I can better learn these types of physics. Everything in this universe is governed by physics, by the laws of Newton. A lot of us that are pioneering souls, a lot of us teachers, souls that are really doing the hard work, it's almost like we are flying around blind. It's like we can't see anything yet. We go through the threshold and we experiment and do all these things that other people are afraid to do. If other people are going to the right, you go to the left. A lot of times, the treasures are where people are not looking. One of the books that I really enjoyed reading this week is called Zero to One by Peter Thiel. I highly recommend it because it was so eye-opening how these startup founders, just the way they think in first principles and really using the systematic thinking. And so going back to the airplane, if you notice birds, jets, they're always forming this V formation. What it's doing is breaking that resistance barrier. A lot of times that compression of air is really hard to break through. So we're doing all the hard work so that the other people behind us can just follow the wake. And when we puncture through each walls and layers of these dimensions, your expanded awareness, it's almost like a camera in your lens, and your lens gets bigger and bigger, then more light can come through. Because when our souls came down here, we pretty much got dumbed down, just thinking about where the central sun is or solar logos in 12D. When we come down here, the light is so far away, like light years away. And so, what Ascension is essentially doing is that we are going back to source, elevating our consciousness. In every generation, we have to kind of cultivate this expanded awareness, more intelligence. So, I told about way back in the day when there was just cavemen, the earth was really just a bunch of raw materials. Like it was just a forest. We didn't have everything that we have now, internet, electricity. We didn't have any of those until we had the knowledge. It's really just the stories that we tell, the culture, and content creation is a way that we can pass through the next generation what we've learned about ourselves, because the next human beings, they're going to be even more intelligent, and we can't get stuck in old ways. The pioneering souls are breaking through barriers and ceilings, expanding our awareness. More and more people are waking up, and there's a whole bunch of corporate wave people who's been giving your power away from institutions. Everybody's
Mm.
waking up now. This is not serving my soul. This is not what I came here to do. It's like a waste of human potential. We came here with an intelligence. Instead of using that intelligence for innovation, we're wasting it for, doing push paperwork. It's like we could be
Yes.
creating, right?
Yes. And and getting stuck in traffic. I don't work, I don't drive like the usual time. I work from home. The other day I go out and I'm in the usual traffic and I'm like, this cannot be it. Like, what do
Oh
you
my
mean?
God.
What do you mean people do this every day?
Right. Like I don't go out in the highways on weekends. So like if I want to get a massage, if I want to do stuff, like I go during the week because it's just me. And it's kind of nice. But yeah, it's one of the things that really pisses me off because why is everybody wasting their human potential of creating, making more money in sitting in a desk that does not serve yourself, that does not serve humanity? It's like your company is just trying to make more money, but you're wasting your precious years of your life sitting there doing nothing. That is very deeply ingrained in us. And we give our autonomy to other people. Like, yeah, sure, you need money to pay your bills, but there are other tons of ways that you can do this that serves yourself. And it's not helping our GDP. It's not helping to pay off our country's debt. We're just wasting more gas. It's creating more wars, and it's a ripple effect. One of the things that my higher self also told me, the triangle, right, is the love, will, and wisdom. And it's really us becoming that sovereign 1%, which I call them. And it's using our innate intelligence. We have time freedom, location freedom. You are really using your God-given gifts to create what you are meant to create here. It's really just a matter of hearing what is noise and hearing what is the signal, and if you're still getting affected by your surroundings. And when you're always listening to other people, what everybody is saying, it's not going to get you to your highest timeline or the realization of you becoming the best version of yourself. And we have to really remind ourselves to be willing to take action. If you're not willing to do whatever it takes, the universe will literally manifest blocks to test you on how you're going to resolve that. And if you're somebody who wants to be free, you want to be liberated, rich, successful, you really have to ask yourself, like, what am I willing to give up? So if you want to let go of your fear, insecurity, ego, you already have all of this intelligence, you can do it. It's just a matter of removing the filters that keeps you from becoming that person.
Mm.
But underneath that underlying pattern is you innately don't feel like you deserve it. It's the hard truth. I can't do it. I'm not in the mood. No, your pattern is telling you that I don't deserve it. I have an addiction pattern to staying poor. I have an addiction pattern to becoming a victim. It's deeply, deeply embedded in our ancestral scripts, and I don't blame them, but it's really noticing about how am I talking to myself? It's usually two things. It's either a mindset issue or a skill set issue. And once you diagnose that, if you know how to do it, who to do it, if you already have the funds, it's like you can just pull the trigger. So a lot of times that's a mindset issue. If you
Mm.
already know how to diagnose it, if you know
Yeah.
how to do it, you have the funds, you just can't pull the trigger, that's a mindset issue. When it comes to a skill set issue, it's an issue of not knowing where to aim it. It's like, okay, I can theorize how to do it, but I don't know where to aim the bullet. So that's a skill set issue. There was this really cool experience. Sorry, I'm like going off a tangent,
Yeah,
but
good. We
there's
can.
this experiment. They had two groups of people. One that people believe that they're innately lucky, and people that are just regular people. And so they all put them in one room. And the people who thought that they put this bunch of paper telling them to go to this restaurant, there's free food. They put a whole bunch of paper in the middle. And the lucky people stood up and took whatever the paper was. The other people who did not believe they were lucky just sat there. It's really about
Mm.
you believing that I am worthy, that I deserve this, that I'm lucky because I have the ability to change the things in my life. One of the things that I'm manifesting now is making $25,000 a month. And then my next goal would be $50,000 a month. I'm working 4 hours a day whenever I want.
Yeah.
You would be surprised like how much more resources, just the more you put your message out there, the more that you are yourself. You're not afraid to get embarrassed or be cringy. But the biggest thing is really taking action. That is the biggest difference. Because we can be wishful thinking, right?
I loved in your meditation at the end where you had a call to action, like creating the new earth. Let's go back to ascension and this concept of the new earth. The key is that ascension is not something outside of you. We think it's something we need to reach for when it's really like going within.
Deep.
The word ascension makes you feel like, like reaching for the stars. There's something above you. It's literally like going in, right? So then you're going in and taking action on what comes through you. That is what will build the new earth. You're focused through your perspective on what you can do. I know my mission, I know what my impact is, and I'm focused on it. Whereas a lot of like spiritual and healers are save the collective. We need to save the
Mhm.
planet and we need to save the collective. No one's taking action. They're like, the new earth will arrive. And it's like, yeah,
Right.
it's here. We have to create it. Otherwise, nothing changes. Like, nothing changes until you change.
That's why my big arc for my business is really expansion and embodiment. I don't want you to be astral projecting if you have not mastered this body. It's really about your coherence. The fastest way to manifestation is your alignment and your coherence to yourself. And you're like this race car driver. Race car drivers they become one with a vehicle because our souls are in space, just floating around. Like this is just simulation. But when you know how to drive your body, if you're really a person who's meant to go super fast in your life, you kind of have to master your space-time dynamics of how your body is moving, navigating. Like your body is like a gyroscope. One of the things that I learned when I was doing figure skating is that a lot of times people think balance is staying still. That's really the wrong mindset. When we say balance, is you moving with precision. Because if you're standing there in your skates, you will fall faster. You're that
Stand still.
momentum, right? It's just physics. You're
Yeah.
creating that momentum so that you can create more balance, just like you're riding a bike. You will fall in your bike if you're just waiting there. You have to move your
Mm.
bike and then things will unfold. Like, oh, that's a cool tree. That's a cool house. I think I should go this way. I think I should go that way. You will learn
Yes.
as you're biking, exposing yourself to different activities. You have to go out there and try out, like go paddle boarding, go sailing, go figure skating, go biking, because you will learn more from these activities than just reading. Yeah, it's good.
That's the expansion part. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's like your intuition is you're communicating back and forth with the cosmos. And a lot of the things that I've learned is because I just listen. I listen and I
Mm.
take
Mm.
action. It's as simple as that. How big can I go higher self? It's like what the first time that I left corporate, I was like, I had so much fears. Like, I don't know if I can do it, but I know that I just need to jump and do this. And so that was my first month where I made 10K and then I made 17K and then I made like 20K. I was like, oh my God, I didn't have to work so hard. I wasted all of this time, you know? But
Yeah. And you realize that this whole time that you were in a corporate job, you were always the value. Anytime money is created, it's coming through you. It's your brain, your ideas. It's you are the value. It's not the corporation. It's like it's you and it's in
ah,
you, you know?
it was a very rude realization. Luckily, I was exposed to other mentors who really showed me the ropes and all of this. But then I came to thinking to myself, like, what are they doing differently that I can't do? Because I don't think they're that intelligent. Like, it pisses me
Hmm.
off when somebody
Hmm.
tells me what to do. And so they focus on building, they focus on creating systems, they focus on investing, how their money can make more money, right? And it's a total shift in your mindset of using your creations to make more out of it.
Mm.
And I was like, if I don't leave now, because my mentor was the CEO of UPS and we were doing a lot of logistics. We worked with a lot of Amazon, Disney. And I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna get replaced. Where is my life heading if I'm just gonna be here forever? I don't want to look at spreadsheets the rest of my life. I need to build my own. Like, I have graduated being a student, and now I'm going to be an entrepreneur, get some equity, all of that stuff.
Talking about finances, tell me, what is happening in the finance world right now?
It's a very strange transition, but more and more, you can tell which one is clean money and dark money. Dark money
Mhm.
is very ego-based. It is not empowering. It makes you feel more guilty. It makes you icky. It makes you like, this money did not make me feel good. I receive and then I spend it again, and then it goes away, and then it's wasting my energy. That is dark money. Light money is what regenerative 5D economy. I give out my services, and my clients love to spend their money on me. And it doesn't make me feel guilty. It makes me feel good. And I can just create and then just love and love to spend more money on me because I'm also helping them expand. It's such a
Mm.
beautiful symbiotic relationship because I'm not only making myself feel good by being able to pay for my bills or take myself on spa days, but I'm really helping somebody to leave their abusive relationships with ease without so much trauma. I'm helping them to create businesses for themselves. When they come back to me and they're like, oh my God, I just started my business. Like, I'm doing this, I'm traveling. I would have never done this for myself. Again, 5D economy is really empowerment, becoming those leaders that have done the inner work. We don't have to be so loud and,
Mm.
extravagant and super performative. Like, that's icky now. It's really your frequency. What is your frequency speaking?
Yes. If we talk about what does the future look like, it looks like frequency being the exchange. How embodied are you in what you are selling? People becoming more in tune to this, right? Watching content and picking up very intuitively. First of all, is this person telling the truth? Is this resonant? Is this AI or is this real? Like, that's going to be a skill that I think a lot of people are going to really hone in on is like that tuning inwards to discerning between like, where is this coming from? It looks real, but it feels off. There's something off about this piece of content or this person. People just becoming more literate of that subtle energy. And also, something that I really worked on was clients aren't coming to me based on how much I post or where I post. Clients are coming to me from like God, from the infinite source. So,
Yes.
it's more like commanding the universe. God put the clients in front of me that I'm ready to lead. God puts the clients in front of me. So, they come out of nowhere, out of the woodwork, and they're like the most perfectly aligned clients.
Exactly. And, even the way that we create our content, the way that we're speaking, our frequency, our resonance, you can program in the back of your higher self to be just like, I want this specific type of client that really is aligned with me and who believes in what I have to offer, what I have to say, and they really ingest every word that I say and it changes their lives. It's insane to see. Like, their symptoms goes away. I've had
Mm.
clients that have eczema, have lymphedema, kidney failure, and they come to me. We work on their karma, their patterns, and the next day they're like, oh my God, I was 10 out of 10 pain, and now I'm 5 out of 10. I'm like 3 out of 10. And frequency work, energetic work, it's what governs this whole cosmos. If we have microwaves, if we have Wi-Fi, that's all frequencies.
Mhm.
You can't deny it.
So I started watching Oceans on Netflix.
Mm.
So it's literally about the ocean. And I was like, okay, let me cleanse my feed. Let me watch this. After
Turns
watching,
into a deep dive.
after watching crime shows. So then I'm watching it and it's just beautiful examples. The intelligence that is organizing and the way that animals are always obviously communicating just through frequency and knowing exactly when it's time to leave. Like they will just feel in their bones, it is time to leave this ocean now and for me to
Mm-hmm.
go here. They are acting on an intuition that they receive, taking action. That's what we're
Yeah,
supposed to be doing. They just don't have the overthinking mind, but
right.
we're receiving the guidance. Move from here, go there, talk to that
Mm-hmm.
person. And you see them doing it and organizing. It's incredible. I don't know how they shot this documentary. It is so beautiful. The storytelling is impeccable. You're completely invested in the
Like,
story.
I bet there's plenty of codes in it.
Yes. Yes. There's plenty of codes. Watch it. I am invested. Oh,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I learned so much from animals. I grew up in a farm. I grew up in the islands of the Philippines. Our school was very interesting because we would do sleepovers and camping at the beach. We would watch how a cow would give birth. Like it
what
was
an
very
education.
immersive, and we would watch the stars. We would have pajama nights. It was super fun. Like I love school so much and just learning. But so that's where I grew up, and like just how my mindset is shaped because of being there. A lot of times, like animals like whales, dolphins,
Mm.
even birds, sonar technology, like we are mammals after all, but we're so used to our five senses that if we don't get the practical evidence, we dismiss it. And it's there, it's all over us. It's a feedback loop of the
Mm.
environment. Nature is always talking to us because we are nature. The more that you can really observe how dolphins move, how bats move, and birds, like how do they know it's time to fly down south? Hummingbirds are very interesting. Learning through nature, you will learn so much more.
When you think about like alien life, okay? Aliens don't
I'm sure they're
communicate.
underwater, right?
Yeah, which are really underwater, right? So they don't talk, they just stand in front of each other. And then when you see some of them, they're communicating through telepathy and things like that. So I can see us reaching a point where less words are needed. You're standing in front of someone and tuning into your frequency and being solid in your frequency is so important because it's going to be a point where it's like people are just reading your frequency, which
Even
we already do, but on another level, yeah.
for sure. And even with my friends, we're just going back and forth because now we're tapping into the quantum field. And the quantum field is wide open. Even with monks, with yogis, they prioritize doing their mantras, they prioritize tonality, they do their humming because
Mm,
you are attuning your vessel. You are this tuning fork vibration where you can now experience and sense what is around you. That's what temples are made for. When you go to temples, I think I went to a Muslim temple before, and just the acoustics of these places. So when they do their it really reverberates, and you're like in this chamber that infuses your
mm,
cells to vibrate. Like,
mm-hmm,
unless you've tried an echo chamber, like being in a temple, you will feel how immersive it is.
mm-hmm.
The acoustics, it's all frequency, sound,
Yeah,
light.
I'm experimenting with that right now. For me, my codes are linked to my voice. Everything always comes back to
Mhm.
my voice, like opening my voice, activating my voice. So every morning now I'm trying just a low humming connecting to, and really there is a point, like I did one for 1 hour, and there was a point where you are just floating, vibrating, and you can feel that inner vibration, that inner
Oh,
harmony. It's wild.
last night, well, I do periodic Kundalini activations for especially the feminines. When we start activating our Kundalini, you feel so high on life. That's what I tell my clients or the advanced practitioners that I meet. You're flooded by serotonin, you're flooded by oxytocin, norepinephrine, like all this feel good energies. You don't have to rely on medication, like this synthetic man made stuff, because it's all in your brain and you can squeeze your brain to produce more. But it takes breath work, it takes awareness. And like last night, I was just like, oh my God, I'm so high. When you activate that DMT, you're just giggly
Yes.
all the time. This year has been really intense for everybody. I feel like I'm finally landing and
Mm.
cleared every gunk that I have with myself, with my business, with my family. It was a big kind of, I have a lot of familial, or even in my past lives, a lot of money trauma. That's why I really prioritize being that spokesperson to this new economy. A lot of times, if you're the chosen spokesperson to this new economy, you really have to be put into trials so that you can hold responsibility of this power and be aligned to use this power to not exploit it and to use this amplification of resources in a good way that amplifies more people. So it's been kind of lessons on my character, on just virtues. We've been really studying about philosophy and how we are shaping new minds, how we're shaping kind of we're entraining people's nervous system, and we don't want to carry the old ways of how money is, the dark money, into the new economy. I had to fracture from those dark money things to only receive what is from the heart. It's the same way with Buddhism, where monks only take in what people give them. It's that type of economy. But it doesn't mean that you're limited. You just have to give more so that you receive more.
Mm.
And yeah,
Yeah,
hopefully.
it's as simple as that. Like sometimes with business, you can get so overcomplicated and you're thinking about sales funnels and how to increase your YouTube views or whatever. And it's just like it's giving and receiving.
Mhm.
Like bring it back down to that. Like, are you giving value? That's it.
And it's a simple concept, right? Where that's what really business is about. Well, we call it business, but it's really just creation. It's the law of cause and effect, where
Hmm.
whatever you're creating, if you believe in your creation that this will help somebody, somebody will receive it. And you just put it out there. Sometimes it takes nurturing of your gifts, like how can I improve more? But
Mm.
it's really that relentless determination. Even though you're patting on the wall, eventually you will find an opening. You have to keep moving and patting different walls until you hit an opening. Because again, stubbornness is not moving. That's the poor man's relentless. We all have tremendous potential. We just have to start and keep going no matter what.
Create the momentum. Take that first bicycle ride. Yes.
Balance is not stagnation, it's actually moving, taking what indicated action can I do today that can just move the needle a little bit. Some days you're just like, I can't move. I'm so tired. Just little.
Uh-huh.
Send that email. You can do it.
Yeah.
That's it. Really
Yeah.
listening to your body. If I'm a seasonal worker, I'd say there's times when I'm just like a whole month of not doing anything. And then when I'm really inspired and I'm in momentum, that's when I can just churn and churn and everything. And that's the feminine way of creation.
Yesterday I was doing a video and I was like, I did 7 takes on the video and I was like,
Mm.
it's just not working today. Like it's just not happening today. Like put it away, go have lunch, go take a nap and start again and try again tomorrow. If it's feeling it right. And then
Right.
a different day, like you said, you just get so much more done and it's just easy. It's effortless. Like boom, boom, boom.
Mhm. One of the books that I really love is Cal Newport. I don't know if you've heard of him, but it's the 4 Hour Week something like that. So that's where I kind of got my concept of I don't really need 8 hours to work, you
For
know.
what? 8 hours a day. Oh my God.
Like the 4 hours I could be just reading, doing things that nurture my soul, and the next 4 hours it's dedicated focus work. So having the systems that back this or how to use the calendar, because I'm so ADHD, like super ADHD, that I forget who I am, where I am, what
Oh
I'm
yeah.
doing. It's like, who am
Hmm.
I again?
Oh, good. I'm glad I'm okay.
And yeah, that's why we have to have these reminders. I have things on my wall, my yoga mat next to my bed. So you're creating less friction and you're able to do it faster. That neurodivergent brain, I think we're innately neurodivergent because that's how you tap into your creative brain, which makes it easier to really read frequencies. But we still need that embodiment and grounding for our masculine side. And that's where really the mastery of you weaving both polarities. If you're not able to build, then that should be your masculine side is what you should be working on. And then if you're super creative again, or if you're opposite, you're just very rigid, you don't know how to relax, you haven't tapped into your creativity, then you need to work on your feminine side. It's balancing both
Mm,
ends.
it's that balance. It's that balance in everything. Containment and flow.
For sure. I sent you a photo of this Greek philosopher. It just came to me when I was making my slides on my event. This is Haley. Like I was trying to figure out, like I know Haley was like some type of philosopher before, and I just don't know which one it is. And like Hypatia came, it was like, I think this is her. And she was the philosopher, mathematician who really revolutionized math because a lot of the feminists, we were master builders, we did a lot of philosophy, but we just did not know about them.
Oh,
Maybe you'll start getting into astronomy and more into math.
let's go. These identity rebirth cycles are moving so fast. Like, I love
Right?
There's an Alan Watts quote that says, "You have no obligation to be the same person you were 5 minutes ago." And I was like, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
No.
I'm validated. Yes, thank you.
It's so hard, especially when you have a business. I feel like my branding needs to change
Ah,
again.
I want to start fresh.
You're getting all kinds of design ideas. I love graphic design and making sure my business represents who I really am. And that's where you can really differentiate yourself. Really asking, what is my why? What is it that I can give to people? And a lot of times
Mm,
you have to really do a lot of trial and error because you're not going to know what you're meant to share if you're not trying things out, you know, if you're not messing up, if you're too afraid to mess up, to fail, like you're not gonna get there because you have to figure out who am I? What am I
yeah.
doing? What is this for? Asking those open-ended questions, how you peel back the layers. Most people just follow. It's like, but it
Everybody
takes
wants a blueprint, a formula. The key
immense
to
courage.
success.
I was offering a lot of soul blueprints before where I know what you came here for. When I look at people's birth charts, it's like you have the birth chart of a millionaire. You are full of Capricorn, you are full of Aries, whatever it is. Like you are somebody who's meant to be a millionaire to start a business. But why aren't you doing this? And
Mm.
then they
You
come to me and they're like, I don't have money. I don't have all this. Innately, you don't feel like you deserve this because you literally, God gave you this blueprint. It is in your soul to be wealthy, but you're afraid to be wealthy. It's not
yeah.
selfish. It's not selfish to have more.
Receive the gift. So
Mhm.
often it's like people are waiting for something else. They feel like they're missing something. And you have a gift, you have a blueprint, but you haven't received it yet. You haven't really said, I'm actually really good. I can really help people with this thing. If you looked around your friend circle or your client circle and go, wow, I'm able to help them with this thing. And even though it's easy for you, doesn't mean it's not valuable. Like that's your gift. That's part of what comes naturally for you.
And when you're really moving through your life that is spirit led, that is aligned to your soul, you wonder, how are these people creating content every week? Like, how are they making more and I can't? Because we've aligned ourselves to what we are passionate about. Because a lot of times we're so used to, again, the talking head syndrome where this is what I should do because this it sounds reasonable. Like,
Yes.
really tap into your core, to your body. Like, does my body feel safe in this job? Does my body feel good when I'm doing this type of job? Even though it's scary, how can I calm my nervous system? And that's when your body will literally tell you where you need to go and how to navigate the waters because you're kind of like swimming in this ocean of deep unconscious, but your body knows. And if you're just stuck in the thinking and your thinking is full of scripts, not just your own
Mm,
scripts, your ancestral scripts, it gets really muddled. And
mm.
having that trust really is like, how can you build trust within yourself, right? You create promises with yourself and you act on your highest alignment. What feels good to you? Follow that spark. We should always be chasing that desire because uh, we need power for love to come through. Power is the vehicle that allows love to really land. If we're afraid to use our superpowers. That's why we're really into Harry Potter. We're really into the Avengers because we know deep down we have that superpower and we're activating those superpowers. Our lives are so magical because we see miracles every day. Like we believe that there are miracles and things can happen to us. When you really cultivate that, you will see more and more. Right.
You can see miracles in your daily life. It's really magical. I recommend you watch that ocean show. I mean, I was just sitting there like, we live on the most magical planet. What do you mean an octopus does this? This is
Oh
incredible.
my God.
Yeah, this planet is magic.
Have you seen The Octopus Teacher?
Oh, yes.
So good.
I, I'm
They're
obsessed.
so
Yeah.
intelligent. I swear, octopuses are like aliens.
Yeah, they are. And I will never eat octopus again.
I do love
Yeah.
calamari, so I don't know.
Okay, I have to go now, but we have so much in this conversation.
I could just talk to
Feel.
you
I know.
forever.
I know. I know. We
It's
like
like,
let's just
sorry, it's super ADHD. Like my brain just goes to like different directions.
same. We're following the hits. What's next?
I'm really interested about your Enneagram. I know you have your
Hmm.
master class. I haven't explored Enneagram yet.
We could
That
do an episode on that. I would love to do a class on it, like a public class.
that would be
Okay, let's
amazing.
think about that as our next one.
You're really good at the geometries. I'm into astrology, but more of the practical astrology and the nervous system regulation. You're good at the systems and stuff. But I want practical spirituality, where we can
Yeah,
still be on Earth, enjoy our lives, and not just float around.
I'm all about that now. Let's be in our bodies.
Amazing. Well, thank
Okay,
you so
Celine,
much for
thank you.
having me. It's been great.
It's been good as always. And thank you again for that meditation. I loved all activation. I loved it the other night.
Yeah.
So good. So good. Okay, I'll chat to you
Thank
soon.
you. Bye.
Bye.